Continuum method. I work as early as possible with breathing before bad habits develop. You can and should work on breathing for a few moments at the start of practice and before the first note at a recital. Breathing against the beat. A string player's guide to freeing your air and your playing. If you've ever noticed yourself holding your breath, gasping, or artificially matching inhales to the pulse of the notes while playing violin, viola, cello, or bass, and it doesn't feel like your natural breathing pattern, you're far from alone. As a string player and teacher of both strings and piano, you already know how much tension can creep into the neck, shoulders, of the quietest yet most powerful ways that tension shows up, and one of the easiest places to start releasing it. Unlike wind players, we don't need continuous airflow to produce sound. But our breathing still shapes everything. Posture, bow arm freedom, left hand fluidity, phrasing, and overall endurance. When breathing becomes reactive, locked to the rhythm or the intensity of the notes, it stops supporting us and starts working against us. The problem, when the pulse takes over your breath, natural breathing is relatively steady, quiet, and automatic. Under the demands of string playing, especially in irregular or rhythmically dense passages, many of us fall into one of these patterns, holding the breath during difficult shifts, double stops, or fast passages, taking sharp, shallow gasps timed to the beat or to bow changes, breathing only at the ends of phrases, or not at all until we run out of air. The result is increased muscle tension, particularly in the neck and shoulders, the exact area many of us already manage carefully, reduced fluidity in both hands, earlier fatigue, and a sense that the music feels more effortful than it needs to. Why this happens so easily for string players? Several factors feed the habit. The physical demands of holding the instrument and coordinating both arms already encourage upper body bracing. Existing neck and shoulder tension, a familiar story for many string players, restricts free ribcage movement, making natural diaphragmatic breathing feel less available. Intense focus on intonation, rhythm, or tone can make us forget to breathe at all. Teaching and performing often mean long stretches of concentrated playing, which amplifies any inefficient pattern. The body is efficient. When the music gets demanding, it defaults to protective, shallow, or held breathing timed to whatever feels most urgent, the next note or the next pulse. Retraining your breath. Practical steps for string players. The same slow, diaphragmatic breathing that helps release muscle tension is the foundation here. The goal is to restore continuous, low-effort breathing that stays independent of the musical pulse. Rebuild awareness away from the instrument. Sit or stand in a relaxed playing posture. Place one hand on your chest and one on your abdomen. Inhale so the belly and lower ribs expand gently, the chest and shoulders stay quiet. Exhale slowly and evenly. Practice this for a few minutes daily until it feels automatic again. Lying down with a light book on the abdomen is a classic way to feel the correct movement without any instrument tension. Long tone or open string practice with free breathing. Play slow open strings or simple long notes while deliberately keeping a steady, continuous breath cycle. Notice any urge to hold or gasp with the pulse, and gently return to the natural pattern. The bow continues. The breath does not have to match it. Phrase-level coordination. In repertoire, deliberately choose places to breathe that support the musical line rather than the beat. Inhale quietly before a phrase begins, then allow the exhale to continue freely through the phrase. Mark a few breath points in the music if it helps. Start with slow, simple material and gradually add complexity. Keep the neck and shoulders out of the breathing equation. Use the same non-tensing awareness you already apply to pain flares. Drop the shoulders, soften the jaw, and lengthen the neck before and during playing. Raised shoulders or a braced neck almost guarantee shallow or held breathing. Short, focused sessions work better than long ones while breaking the habit. Many string players notice greater ease, better endurance, and less residual tension within days to a couple of weeks of consistent practice. Extra tips for players and teachers. Treat breathing as part of your warm-up, just like scales or shifting exercises. When teaching, model free breathing for students, and occasionally ask them to notice whether they are holding or gasping. Young players especially pick up the habit quickly. On piano, the same principles apply. continuous low-effort breathing supports relaxed arms and clearer phrasing. If reflux, poor sleep, or an ongoing muscle flare is part of the picture, addressing those can make natural breathing feel more available during practice and teaching. A note on professional support. A teacher or colleague with a good eye for body use can help spot subtle postural habits that feed restricted breathing. If neck and shoulder tension is a long-term companion, a physiotherapist who works with musicians can be especially useful. And if breathing difficulty includes true shortness of breath or occurs outside of playing, speak with a doctor. You already have strong body awareness from managing tension and using deep breathing effectively. Applying that same mindful, non-reactive approach to your air while you play and while you teach can free both your sound and your body. Pick up your instrument, take one quiet, full belly breath, and begin with a single open string. Let the breath stay natural. The music will follow more easily.